Hello, in today's video we are going to be talking about the home realm system and what I believe can be done to fix it. The developers are clearly struggling with this as they recently just put out this survey, which we're going to go ahead and complete in this video. I'm going to be giving a lot of my feedback, and I highly suggest that you guys as well take this survey, because the only way that things will change is if people voice their concerns. And as always, when the developers do ask for feedback specifically, it's very important to give it to them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this survey, and I will see you there. And here we are on the survey. This is the Home Realm Satisfaction Survey. Question 1 is, what would you say is your main objective when playing Call of Dragons? And then we have some options. Achieving the highest possible rank in event rankings. That's something that I like to try to do and hoard up to do. Collecting every hero and artifact, or all the ones I want. Gathering and accumulating resources. Training and upgrading my legions. Chatting and hanging out with my friends and my alliance. Upgrading my city's building and technology. Completing daily quests and other tasks. Fighting other players to gain merits. Taking part in inter-alliance or inter-realm KvK combat. Definitely. Completing behemoth trials. And defeating behemoths alongside my alliance. And others, I'm going to go ahead and write something down here, and I'll be back once I have that written down. So it actually looks like this form here doesn't let you expand it, but I just decided to write down catching and working on upgrading pets. So I believe the goal of this first question is for you to select whatever things are the most important to you. So maybe do like your top 5 or something. And I think that achieving the highest possible rank in events is one thing that's worth being up there. Gathering resources, obviously you want to be gathering resources so that you can do all of the other things. Chatting and hanging out with friends, it is a community game, so that's important. Taking part in inter-alliance and inter-realm KvK combat is the main goal of this game. Obviously though, the resource gathering does have to come first, and then working on pets I just find very fun in this game compared to other methods of collection in other games. And by the way, I do want to again remind you guys to do this form in-game, because I assume the next questions are going to be different, and this is how things actually get done when the players voice their feedback. Question 2. How satisfied are you with the game experience since changes were made regarding home realms? I would say neutral. Maybe satisfied. No, I would say neutral, because in our first home realm, we were in home realm for 22 hours, and that was way too short. And then our second home realm, we were in home realm for over 30 days, which was way too long. So I almost want to say dissatisfied. But I think I have to say neutral, because the fact that home realms exist helps. It's between dissatisfied and neutral. I think I'm going to go with neutral. Let's go with the next question. And then obviously, depending on how your experience was, you can probably have a different answer here. I think the highest anyone should go here is probably satisfied. I don't think anyone has any reason to go for very satisfied, unless maybe you're a Generation 1 server and you haven't experienced the long wait yet in Home Kingdom. Okay. How satisfied are you with each of the below design changes that were made regarding home realms? Your Season 1 server becomes your home realm, and personal alliance data is retained between seasons. Very satisfied. The leader of the alliance who occupies the Flame Dragon lair becomes High King and is granted control over the server. I'm going to say very dissatisfied, because this isn't true. They don't gain control over the server. That is a blatant lie, and yes, they definitely don't do this, or they don't get this ability. Let's go actually in game real quick and take a look. So the only thing that the king really has access to do is they can give out titles, and some negative titles as well. They can dispense gifts and use skills, and they can manage migration, but they can't kick people out. All they can do is change the settings for migration. In my opinion, there needs to be a way for the king to kick people out of the server, but that definitely is something that will take some thought and some planning in order to have a good system in place. I did originally have a suggestion that I made about this in the Discord server. I'll throw that on screen right now. I guess I'll give this guy a like too. They keep changing the king though, so that's why there's no likes. But I need to make a video on my deportation suggestion at some point. So I'll probably go ahead and do that soon. But I'm going to vote very dissatisfied on that question just because I think it's a false presupposition. Anyways, let's get back to the survey now. From Season 2 onwards, realms are pitted against each other. Very satisfied. Migration has been expanded. Players can migrate to any pre-war server where they fulfill the requirements. Very dissatisfied. And the reason that I'm very maybe let's do dissatisfied. And the rationale for this is that players from Generation 1 were able to get players from Generation 2 servers twice before Generation 1 players were able to migrate to Generation 2. Because after SOB2, players were classified as pre-SOB2. And before SOS1, still as pre-SOB2. So people, yeah, it's not great. So now when SOS1 finishes, they'll be classed, I believe, again as pre-SOS1 or just pre-SOS, and people in SOS who are in Generation 2 kingdoms can migrate again to Generation 1 kingdoms. And it's just a mess. They didn't plan that well. If you actually went into pre-SOS after finishing SOP2, there wouldn't have been this giant catastrophe of people leaving Generation 2 servers and all joining Generation 1s. Because right now there's a little bit of a population problem in Generation 2 servers, which maybe I could get into to more detail in another video, but for now I think dissatisfied is the correct answer for this. So let's move on. Okay, so here we are in question 4. For what reasons do you feel dissatisfied with the changes made to Home Realm? Events like Strongest Lord are cross-server and can't be restricted to just my home realm. Yes, 1,000 times yes. In Rise of Kingdoms, the Mightiest Governor event is kingdom specific, and this is amazing for kingdom leadership because they can delegate who wins different slots, and that way every server gets the same number of sculptures to compete against each other in KvKs, which is absolutely massive. It probably leads to less money made for the developers, but I feel like a change to this would be absolutely amazing for the game's health, and just the overall matchmaking. Point 2, KvK matchmaking isn't fair. I think they're trying to experiment. Let's go ahead and I'm going to actually open up one of my Google Sheets and we'll take a look at that real quick. So, as you know, I did do this data analysis on my KvK. So the power is roughly even based on Diplo. And then if you look at the T5 breakdown, not so much. But the question is this like really a bad thing? Because if the KvK matchmaking was too even, you would most likely end up against the same people every single time. So while if we just look over here at Kingdom 15 through 110, like if they were in a 1v1, this would not be very good at all based on the T5 difference. I think it's important to remember that this sway between the power differences in different kingdoms for matchmaking are probably a good idea, because yeah, I think it makes sense to not have 4 kingdoms or 4 camps that all have the same types of kingdoms and the same power, just so that it doesn't get stale. So for this question, I'm actually not going to highlight that because I think that it is fair. Resource points, Darklings, and War Pets in Home Realm are not as good as they are in season servers, for sure. It's hard to choose the right realm to migrate to. I don't think that's the responsibility of the developers to figure that out. Migration permits are difficult to obtain, and it's hard to migrate multiple times. Fun thing about this, Mr. Sneaky actually just uploaded a video on one of the tips I gave him. Let me pull that up real quick. Or I guess I can just show a picture of the thumbnail on the screen right here. But I still kind of agree with the fact that you can only get 1 per week right now. So even as a free-to-play player, if we go in-game real quick, right now, even as a free-to-play player, I only have 17 migration permits. So I'll be able to migrate like once, but after that, I won't ever be able to migrate again unless I wait for like 10 months or something like that. Just because the rate of passport gain like kind of keeps pace with the rate of power gain. And after I migrate, it would be like 30 passports or something. So what? That's like over half a year of buying passports. Plus, during that time, I'm gaining more power, which will require me to buy more passports. Yeah, you should be able to buy more passports for sure, instead of the current system where it's just one per week, 400k each. Still have 4.8 million of these. It is really tempting to just buy 162 hours of speed ups, but no, I'm not going to do that. And yeah, let's go ahead and go back to the questionnaire, the survey. My allies aren't good at KvK combat, making the experience worse. There's really no way for the developers to check that or balance that, so yeah, I'm not going to select that box. Home realms mean that allies are always kept together, so there's no chance to make new friends. I think that's a good thing, so I'm definitely not going to check that. Most of the players have migrated away from my home realm, so it's not as active as before. I'm going to check that because I think that's a plague with the entirety of Generation 2 servers. I'm in the probably most populous Generation 2 server, at least for power. I think maybe like IMD's server is more populated, but ROG and ROV, we're doing pretty good. We're like 20 something billion, 340 active accounts, maybe something like that. It's a pretty nice server, but I understand that as a whole, Generation 2 servers aren't doing very well, so that definitely deserves being upvoted. There's not much activity in my home realm, it's rather boring. Yep. The rules for migrating to other realms are complex and it's difficult to migrate successfully. I think the migration system is a little bit complex, yeah. There needs to be some sort of like infographic in game that like highlights what you are in and then what other types of servers you can migrate to, instead of every time you click on a different server having its own like little migration pop up for its specific rules. Instead, you should have a spot where, like, based on just pulling your account information, it tells you what rules apply to you. I think that would be a good change. So let's go ahead and upvote that. And after the changes, the pre-war period between seasons is too long. Yeah, for sure. And also for an other, let's just go ahead. The king does not currently have the authority to kick people from the realm. Is a difficult issue. However, you should work on some way to implement this. I've spent some time brainstorming this already. And would be happy to share my thoughts if you are interested. Alright, next page. The following changes to home realms, have you considered following the changes to home realms, have you considered migrating to another server? I haven't considered it because I was very lucky to be in 110 when this change went live. However, if I was in my previous server, I definitely would have looked to migrate somewhere else, because I don't think as a free-to-play player I would have kept up with the power creep in that kingdom, since they did some merging and definitely were more focused on just getting tier 5 players. Alright, next page. Which of these design choices would convince you to migrate to a regular server? Restricting the strongest lord event to just my home realm during the pre-war phase so I could have more chances to obtain rewards. Okay, so this is a very fun coding error where they don't have it like set up so that words don't cut off like that. That's kind of cool. Removing restrictions on migration so we can migrate in large groups such as alliances. Sure. Reducing the amount of migration permits required. Giving the realm buffs during KvK combat. None of these would convince me to move to a weaker server. Oh, regular. That means weaker when he says regular. I don't think I personally would be interested in moving to a weaker server. Maybe if there was some toxicity in mine or something, but there really isn't. So, yeah, I think we're good. Alright, next question. I guess some other people definitely could have some different answers there, though, for sure. Alright. Have you moved to a new season server since the KvK season began? I moved to a KvK server but never returned to my home realm during the season. Okay, give me a second to... Oh, so this is just asking if you went from your home realm server into the KvK map. Yes, I moved to a KvK server, of course. What was the main reason you felt dissatisfied with the experience in your home kingdom during KvK? Wait, what? I don't think I said this. Did I misinterpret a question earlier, maybe? I guess that's possible. Okay, there weren't enough rewards available for me to obtain in my home realm. My realm didn't allow me to stay in home realm. There weren't enough events in my home realm during the KvK seasons. I'll upvote that. There weren't enough active players in my home realm. I only had access to Season 1 war pets in my home realm. The levels of resource points in my home realm were too low. Let's go ahead and do those two. How satisfied were you with KvK matchmaking? Even though the Diplo went bad, I don't think that's on the developer's fault, so I'm going to say that I was satisfied with it. I think the idea of having 2 strong servers, 2 middling servers, and 2 weak servers in one KvK, no offense to IBO and BPT, it's just one of you is a G0 kingdom, and the other one is you're 2 or 3 seasons behind us, so no hate to those guys at all. It's just the fact that we are in 3 different groups with BTROG and then GLRE XP and BPT IBO. I think that 2-2-2 pairing system works pretty well, so I'm going to say satisfied. Question 11. Do you feel the current duration of the pre-war period is appropriate? I think it's a little bit too long. It's too short. That would be funny. I'm going to go with it's somewhat long, but I can accept it. Because having 30 days to farm mana so that you can resource heal in the next season, you kind of need that as a free-to-play player on top of gathering gems. Let's hop back into the game real quick and I'll show you what I mean. So as you guys, I assume, know, I'm a free-to-play player, and every single week, at least for the last couple of months, I've been getting, or probably almost the last year, I've been getting gem fatigue every week, which means that I do have quite a few gems gathered. I have 52,000 gems gathered, so yeah, 1 week worth of, or 1 year, worth of gem fatigue. Not bad, but that means that my mana gathered is really quite low. So some people, when they're not gathering gems, they'll be able to have more, but as a free-to-play player, you definitely need a little bit more time to gather mana. So I think 1 month in home realm combined with the ability to gather hopefully level 7 or level 8 nodes consistently would make that a lot more bearable. I still haven't pushed T5 yet, but once I do push T5, I'm going to very quickly run through all these resources. So yeah, I definitely currently, I think all free-to-play players would agree with me that a month in Home Kingdom, while it's a little bit boring, I found it very boring as well, trust me, because I didn't have any fighting at the end of my last KvK or the beginning of this one. But it's a little bit of a double-edged sword with a very big positive. But anyway, that was enough of a rant there. Let's go back into the survey. Question 12. Which of these phases of the pre-war period do you find too long? Returning to your home realm and waiting for matchmaking to start. Yeah. KvK registration phase, KvK matchmaking phase, preview matchmaking announcement, the brink of war event phase. Actually, this matchmaking phase is too long. Yeah, that's fair. Other, let's select this. Migration should open immediately. Okay, I can't spell. Sorry, I'm tired. Immediately, not immediately. Alright, yikes. I swear I'm not dumb. Migration should open immediately after your kingdom gets back to the home realm, and should only close when your king decides to click register for the upcoming KvK. Alright, next question. 13. How satisfied are you with events during the pre-war period? Very dissatisfied. Yeah, we'll do very dissatisfied. What kind of events would you like to see more of in the pre-war phase? Large-scale inter-alliance combat events? No. PvE challenge events? Not really. PvP challenge events? Not really. Strongest Lord? Yes. Research construction? No. Daily peacekeeping gathering events? Yeah, I like that. Then other, please specify. So I have experience playing Rise of Kingdoms, and I would like to see something similar here to Marauders in ROK. The ability to get high tier rewards by doing PvE tasks and trading in parchments is very appealing and satisfying. Plus, it is something that a lot of the player base looks forward to. Alright, so I think that's accurate. I'm going to go back and fix some of these spelling errors in here. I really wish this expanded to have more of a... wait, I did type this right. Satisfying? Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't. Sorry, dyslexia coming in big here. Alright, satisfying. There we go. Yeah, I think that this is a good thing. If you're not sure what this is, basically you kill these like PvEs on the map, just like Darklings in the normal game. And every time you do that, it drops a satchel. And then you open the satchel, it gives you a random parchment. And you have to match a set of 7 different parchments together, and then you get a king's chest. And in that king's chest, you can get a bunch of different high tier rewards, which I believe include even gold heads, but mostly just like gems and speed ups. So yeah, that's a lot more fun than what we have right now. Anyway, question 15. Do you feel the current season duration, 50 days not including the pre-war period, is appropriate? It's an appropriate amount of time. Yeah, I agree. 50 days for a KvK, that's good. I like the pace. I like the change from it being 80 days to 70 to 60 to 50. I like it. I guess some previous KvKs were like 90. Have you encountered any other issues regarding the home realm design change in Call of Dragons? Or do you have any suggestions that you would like to make? I guess this is where I should have put those previous things. Let me go ahead and just write them down real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, here we are. I put in 4 points. 1, the king should be able to deport players. 2, strongest lord should be specific to every server, even during KvK. 3, resource nodes should be a higher level in the home realm. And 4, you should have 3 or 4 warrants per day in the home realm. I guess I should specify to capture war pets. Next page. What kind of events would you like to see more of in the pre-war phase? PvP challenge events, large-scale inter-alliance events, ranking-based rewards events, research construction training power building events, lucky spin artifact chance boost rewards, PvE challenge events, I like those. Daily peacekeeping gathering event. I feel like we already had this question. I'm not sure why I'm getting it again. Maybe a question that I answered earlier prompted it to show again. That's okay. Next page. Do you feel the current season duration? Is it trolling me? We just had these two questions, I swear. It's an appropriate amount of time. I'm not going crazy, right? I'll just say next page. All right. I'm not going crazy, right? Oh well. Which of these options best describes your role in Call of Dragons? Realm Alliance Administrator, Realm Alliance Commander, Rallied Army Garrison Army Commander. I don't lead, but I do actively take part in warfare. I fight in battles sometimes, but I don't actively take part in warfare. I prefer gathering resources. I don't like fighting at all. I'm not in an alliance / don't take part in alliance activities. I just play solo. It's between Realm Alliance Commander and I don't lead, but I do actively take part in warfare. I think that based on what I do, Realm Alliance Commander is better. Actually, Administrator is probably more accurate because Commander, I would think, relates to shot calling. And while the shot callers are definitely more important than I am, the things that I do for the realm are definitely more administrative. So yeah, let's do that actually. How old are you? I am 22. I actually turned 23 in 8 days. Fun stuff. What is your gender? Male. Oh, is that the last question? That concludes the survey. Thanks for your involvement. It looks like there was going to be other questions if I didn't answer male. Okay. Well, that's it. Hopefully you guys liked that, I guess, and hopefully you submit some questions as well. Let's hop back into the game real quick, and I'll give you a little bit of an overview of what's going on right now. So as you're aware, we're in a KvK where we have BTR on one side and EXP on the other, both of which are our enemies. On the BTR side, we did have a fight over here earlier, yesterday or the day before, where he pushed out this way a little bit. It looks like they did since destroy their bastion. Maybe they moved it over here though. No, it looks like they just removed it. But basically, we're just at a point where we're doing a little bit of PvP for fun. Taka out here with his city. He doesn't care. 235 million power. Come at me, bro. But yeah, we're just trying to have some fun. I did unfortunately miss it. And then after I missed it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a little bit of merit farming just so that I can actually buy out some of this elixir from the shop. But yeah, it's been a fun season. No, I shouldn't lie. It hasn't been a fun season so far. We barely had any PvP. But I know that these guys did have some fun yesterday. I believe that the next pass is opening soon. If we go ahead and take a look at the Augur Stone. Yeah, the next pass is opening in a day and a half. And the next Mastery Monolith as well. So I'm going to have some videos coming out on Mastery skills soon. I've been trying to work on how I want to format these videos, and I think I've finally figured it out. So that should be a ton of fun. And yeah, I hope you're looking forward to future videos from me. I haven't been uploading very much in the last month, just because I've been trying to figure out a lot of things in my personal life, as well as I have been, well, there hasn't really been a whole lot to talk about in Call of Dragons, at least not that I thought was worth making a video on. But this is something that was important to me today to, oh yeah, here we go, we got 200 gems, cool. I think it's pretty important to give the developers feedback whenever they give you a opportunity to do so. So hopefully this inspires some of you guys to go ahead and take the time to complete the survey, and it's not a waste of time because they actually do use this information to figure out how they want to improve the game. I think it's more important than putting a suggestion in the Discord, and it's definitely more important than just whining in general chat or different YouTubers' comment section. So, you know, that's about it for now. More videos coming. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day.